And we are live for the 92nd Academy Awards, Oscars recap, the reactions, the results. We are live on YouTube. Hey everyone, it's Adam from Adam's Land. We're doing Pub Talk 32. There's only a couple of us here today because Brandon was unable to make it. Unfortunately, he had to go to work. And Dan has got a bit of a family emergency. Dan, we hope everything's okay, buddy. So yeah, Dan's just taking care of some stuff at home right now, which is fine. We completely understand. But yeah, Mr. RobFuz is joining me, guys. Rob, say hello.
Hi, Adam. How's it going, everyone? Could do opposite. I always look like a giant next to you on this thing. So what's going on, everyone? How's it going?
Maybe to zoom in like that.
I forgot to do this. I got to hold you in my palm of my hand, little Adam over there. So. There's no duck, but I got the floating Adam. So. Hi, everyone. First off, I apologize, Adam, from the last stream and during the Oscars. As Kay would say, please don't underestimate your stamina. So unbelievable. I think Adam went to bed 5 a.m. He was up. I was half asleep at 10, but Adam was up till 5 a.m. So congratulations just on that alone. So for making it to the Oscars. But this is your Super Bowl. You live for this. So
this is what I live for. So Rob, what we're going to do first, you know what we're going to do. Who's in the chat, Rob?
Oh, I got to go through it. Well, let's see. Mike Wheeler is first. What's going on, Mike? Got some guy named Adams laying there. Grace F. What's going on, Grace, as you would say? Grace F. Dylan Duddleson, welcome to the stream. Lisa Post, welcome. LSU Mom, how's it going? Kay, what's going on? Alyssa, Zippity Doodad, birthday boy. He's celebrating his anniversary stream. I believe tomorrow. Happy birthday. Happy 1 year to Patrick. He is awesome. And welcome to the stream, everyone. I might yawn a few times, but what do we got? What are we drinking here? It is Pub Talk.
What are we drinking? Well, yeah, I've been on non-alcoholic stuff for most of the year so far, but with the Oscars, that was my party. So and as we're doing the Oscars recap, I'm just finishing the beers that I didn't finish last night. So I've got a Michelob Ultra. So yeah, cheers.
Really? Rob. Cheers. You have Michelob Ultra? It's something I would drink over here. Thank you. Cheers.
Yeah, I was on all the fizzy stuff last night. I mean, you can see this bottle right behind me. That was drank last night. That was yeah. I had two of those. So yeah,
we did an impromptu. Is that how you say it? We did a live stream with the red carpet during the Oscars. So I told Adam I'd be on for 15 minutes. An hour and 15 minutes later,
we did some of the red carpet stuff. Speaking of the red carpet, you know, that was the first person we saw on the night on the red carpet, Billy Porter. What did you make of Billy Porter's dress? He's always loud with his costumes.
His costume was great, but I did not like his interviewing, so I just didn't. He didn't know. You know, Diane Ladd was there. He didn't even know who Diane Ladd was.
Oh, really? Wow.
Laura Dern. Just kind of ignored it. Laura Dern's mom, right? She was Oscar winner herself.
Yes.
Say it into his ear. That's it's Academy. Show respect to her. You know.
We didn't get Billy Porter interviewing in the UK. We saw him on the red carpet, and I remember he wore like a tuxedo dress last year. So like, you know, his outfits on the red carpet are always loud. This year, more loud. But yeah, fair play. There he was. There's Spike Lee also on the red carpet there. Spike is obviously that was his tribute to Kobe Bryant there. So yeah, Spike Lee paying tribute to Kobe Bryant on the red carpet. Look at this. That's what's her name? Julia Butters. Yeah, Julia Butters. She was in.
Like the way you say Butters.
Yeah, Julia Butters.
Who was that? I'm sorry, I didn't know who that was.
From Once Upon a Time. She was in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. 10 years old. I mean, what an amazing thing to be doing at 10 years old. Yeah, and you see that little handbag she's got there? She had a turkey sandwich in there to keep her going because she didn't like the Oscar food. so yeah.
The no meat thing. Well, was she in? I don't remember her in the movie though.
She in the movie she was an actress acting alongside Leo DiCaprio's character. So she was sat on the set with him and as he was getting emotional. But yeah, so Grace says, I'm in the car driving home from the grocery store. It's coming in and out. Sorry, Grace, we've we'll be going through the red carpet stuff before we get on to the results. So these kids here as well, from Joe Rabbit. Little Archie Yates is the one on the right.
I love this name's Archie.
Archie Yates, again, 10 years old. What an amazing thing to be doing. And then Roman Griffin Davis as well on the left. I think he's 12 years old. He'll be 13 next week, or he'll be 13 soon, certainly. So that's they must have been having the time of their lives between Julia Butters from Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and obviously the two boys from Jojo Rabbit. What an amazing night for them. Hollywood's power couple at the moment. Power couple, Greta Gerwig and Noah Baumbach as well. They were both. It was great watching them on the carpet together, and they were talking about how when they're doing their work, they both get each other to watch their work as it's being shot, and give their feedback on some of the scenes they've shot that day and stuff. So, yeah, and they were up against each other in certain categories as well. So it was quite interesting. But it was great to see them there. Yeah. Obviously doing their thing. Natalie Portman's dress. Did you hear about the cape that she was wearing with it?
I didn't notice. I heard afterwards. I was watching replay, and I did see that.
Yeah, well, you see it there in that image. So yeah, she had the 8 names of the female directors who were all snubbed for Best Director category this year. So so you can see Gerwig's name there. Obviously, Greta Gerwig wasn't nominated for Little Women, which is a shame because So yeah, that's a great touch by Natalie Portman. There. So
go back to the cape.
Go back to the cape.
There's a hidden Mickey there. Did you see that? It's a hidden Mickey.
Oh, it's a hidden Mickey. Hidden Mickey for all the Disney fans in the chat. So yeah. So Rebel Wilson, she was on the red carpet. It was quite interesting actually what she was talking about, because I know we were talking about Jojo Rabbit the other week, weren't we? And whether people understood or got the humor and how shocking some of it was. And Rebel Wilson revealed on the red carpet last night that people thought that some of her dialogue in the films was just sort of written comedic, sort of she was telling jokes or something like that. What she was actually reading in the film, the actual dialogue came direct from Nazi propaganda manuals. That's how serious it was. Like, they emphasized that. Like, people were kind of laughing at it.
I kind of got it. I thought that was the case, just based on you too.
Yeah, but yeah. So yeah, she revealed last night that actually most of her dialogue in the film was actually from propaganda manuals, which is crazy. Yeah, it is funny. So
I didn't know the director played Hitler either. I thought that was interesting. I found that out. So
Taika Waititi, he played Hitler in it. So
they said he had to direct as Hitler, which was bizarre, but
that must have been very, very, very bizarre for him. Go back to the chat, Rob. Tell us who else is in at the moment.
We got Noah here. What's up, Super Bowl Noah? How you doing? Cricket Fox is here. Welcome to the stream. She does look great. Kay's here. It's a Disney World freak. What's going on, buddy? And Two Real Geeks is here. I think that's all that joined us. So
that's cool. So I just wanted to do we're just going to continue recapping. We're going to continue recapping the red carpet. I just want to do a bit of a best dressed. Okay. So you can see Regina King there. First of all, I think she looks stunning in that dress. I thought she was one of the better dressed people on the carpet last night. So and then we've got, who is this? This is Caitlin Dever. She's got a bit of a Jessica Rabbit thing going on there with her dress, which I thought was a nice Jessica Rabbit old school Hollywood vibe. Okay. Laura Dern. I thought she looked stunning in her dress last night. So as you can see it there.
Great.
Salma Hayek. Salma Hayek looked great. As did Penelope Cruz. I thought she owned the red carpet last night.
I get those two confused. I used to get those two confused, but
you didn't? Yeah. No, I thought Penelope Cruz owned the red carpet last night. I mean, look at that dress there. It's kind of got a Spanish feel to it with the high and low sort of front and back. So yeah, it's got that Spanish feel to it. So yeah, there she is on the red carpet with Salma Hayek as well. So obviously good friends. And then who else?
I like Julia Louis-Dreyfus. I thought she looked great.
Who? Sorry.
Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
Yeah. Julia Louis-Dreyfus. She looked fantastic. as well. As did Gina Davis.
I was always doing Gina Davis too.
And then
gotta make them bigger.
Yeah, I'm gonna make this one bigger. Sorry, I'll go back to Renee Zellweger. I thought she looked fantastic in her dress last night. As did Scarlett Johansson. And then we have Margot Robbie finishing up. And we haven't forgotten the guys as well. Obviously, we've got Al Pacino and Robert De Niro there arriving. We've got Brad Pitt for the ladies there. So, obviously, Joaquin Phoenix as well.
I would have swore you said Wacky Phoenix.
Wacky, yeah, Joaquin. Tom Hanks on the carpet.
You see Tom Hanks doing push-ups with like someone in the military or something? Do you see that?
No, I didn't see that. No,
ABC played back out of it. He was doing push-ups, but it was like it was raining, and the ground was wet. And the guy threw his phone on the ground. I'm like, I hope his phone's waterproof. But that was a priceless moment. Him, I don't know, it was some military guy. He was doing push-ups with Tom Hanks on the red carpet. It was awesome. He looked good.
Yeah, Bong Joon-ho. I think he really kind of has won over award season. No prizes for guessing where this picture came from. This image. That's Bong Joon-ho and his translator Sharon Choi, who's obviously gone on the whole award season run with him translating for him. She's actually a filmmaker herself as well.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's interesting.
Yeah, she's a filmmaker herself as well.
Seemed pretty cool.
And yeah, she must have just had the best time. So and got the best experience in this award season. So yes. So then we're going to go on to the worst dressed.
Grace has her best dressed. ScarJo, Regina, Renee, and Jane Fonda. And she said, "Al Pacino, comb your hair." Worst dressed. I thought this is Billie Eilish's style. Though.
Billie Eilish. Yeah,
I thought Eilish. That's the way she does.
I don't get what she was. She just looks like she's wearing pajamas, or she looks like. Yeah, I mean, she looks here like she's posing for like
She smiled at one point.
I watched
the photo session. So.
Yeah, she looks like she's just taken a mugshot because she's about to go to prison for she's going to jail for excessively long nails.
Wait, she's 16. You got to give her a little break.
Yeah, and Timothy Chalamet.
Is he at gym today at school?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, why is he wearing a tracksuit? Why is he turned up in a tracksuit like he's just finished a game of football or something like that? So
I missed that.
Yeah, I didn't like. I mean, he normally is quite well dressed, Timothy Chalamet, but yeah, wearing a tracksuit. Yeah, that's
18. Okay, Grace.
18. Okay, yeah. So yeah, it was just
like her, hater.
Yeah. So let's go back to the chat just for 1 second. I just need to catch up.
Sorry.
Oh, Billie is against showing skin. I did not know that. So yes, and she did win at the Grammys. Noah said. We've got that in our heads, haven't we? So we were just singing that before we came on. Yeah. So
sorry.
Obviously, on to the awards. The awards overran a little bit this year as well.
They always overran. You always got to. You know what? It's so stupid. Why does the Oscars 8 to 11:30, and then it won't overrun, and that's it. It always goes to at least 11:20, 11:30. That's so dumb. Just say it goes to 11. Who cares? All these people watching. Into the unknown. That's right. But just let it go. Yeah. Hey, by the way, I forgot to congratulate you yesterday. We got off the stream. I was looking at the stream. Jedi Blue Master, of course. Thank you for reminding me. Congratulations on 500 subscribers to Adam's Line. I'm sorry. I forgot yesterday. I forgot today. So thanks for the reminder.
No, that's great. Thank you. So Two Real Geeks is commenting above as well. And yeah, so obviously that was the red carpet fun. Obviously, all part of the build-up, and then the show started off.
Yeah, but I was telling Adam too, and yesterday, ABC got smart. They did. I watched almost all of it. It's pretty crazy. I was watching it last night from 1 to 4 o'clock. They had the pre-show, and then they had a pre-show, and then the red carpet for 90 minutes, and then they had an hour and a half after. So it was crazy. It was good to see all the interviews and stuff. It was a lot. It was a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, so then, obviously the show opened then with an opening number from Janelle Monáe did the opening number, and what did you think of that opening number, Rob? You like it? Did you not like it?
I went and got popcorn.
Like it?
But I got popcorn.
You want to get popcorn?
Dan reminded me I needed popcorn, so I'm like, you know what? This doesn't look that great. I'm going to get popcorn. So I did watch it before. Me and Adam were watching it back, and it wasn't that great. So
yeah. I like it more my second time around watching it. I didn't notice the wardrobe malfunctions the first time around watching it. Obviously, we were just discussing that off stream before we went live. But yeah, one of the buttons on a shirt came undone. She noticed that and managed to fix it. But then when she took off her jacket, she took off the black jacket she was wearing to swap it to the red one, and she was struggling to take that off. And then when she tried to hang it up, it fell off the hanger. Everything kind of got a bit clumsy and awkward to begin with. But then I thought,
drop the mic or the mic stand. I was watching that.
Yeah. But then other than that, I thought she recovered it well. And I thought it was a good opening pop. Was it as epic as like Queen last year when Queen opened the Oscars? No. But I think it was a great opening pop, and it got all the audience pumped and excited. It's what you wanted to start the Oscars, like, with the confetti at the beginning and stuff, and just everyone was just having a good time and was happy to be there. You could see they were all ready and psyched for it. And then obviously no host again this year. I miss them having a host 2 years running, no host now. But there was a great opening sort of duo between Steve Martin and Chris Rock, which I thought was fantastic. Obviously, both have hosted the Oscars in the past. Yeah, they both.
It felt like they got demoted. It was kind of funny.
Yes, yeah. Well, Steve Martin joked that it was a demotion, but yeah, it was. No, I thought the pair of them were great. I'd love to see them co-host it together. That could have been interesting. But yeah. So then, obviously, into the first award of the night, and if you guys haven't tuned in on the last couple of pub talks that were over on RobFuz's stream,
sorry.
We obviously, and we did it last year. We've had a bit of a pub talk competition running between sort of myself, Rob, DizneyDan, Brandon from Phantasmic Ears, and we opened it up to people in the chat as well. I know Grace got involved and sent us over her predictions as well. So we've included Grace's results in this as well. So yeah. So obviously we had a bit of a thing running last year. I took the coveted prize.
Nice.
So last year.
So it's still there from last year. We're not giving any spoilers away last year.
Last year.
What was I predict? I got all bold. What did I say? What did I first predict? I first predicted yesterday I was going to get 20 right, and I was like, what am I saying? I think that's too high. Then I said I got 12 last year, and then I predicted at least 15. I think this year. That's what I
was saying on last night's stream that in years gone by, I've sat there confident that I might get 20, 21, and then at the end of the night I'm looking and I'm like 12 or 14, and I'm like, oh my god, I've done terribly.
You got 13 last year. I
got 15 last year. I got 15 last year.
I got 12, I think, right? Was that it?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
But so we'll see. We'll see how we did. So go ahead. I think
Adam is still wide awake and Rob is drifting off. Yeah, stay with me. Stay with me, Goose.
I got a stream at 10. I'm on Pepper Tree Villa stream at 10 o'clock Eastern time. We're doing the Taste of Valentine's Day, so I can't wait. Jim's on here. Jim's in the chat, so welcome, Jim.
So as always with the Oscars, which made us laugh because Brandon was questioning last night. He was like, "Why are they doing this award so early?" It's always with the Oscars. Apart from a couple of years ago when they changed the format and it didn't really work, but usually, almost every single year.
What did they do a couple of years ago?
They wanted to do it a few years ago. They decided to do it with how a film is put together. So it starts with the script, and then it. So I think they gave the writing awards first, and then it kind of went from there onwards. But they didn't like that change of format, so eventually they went back to So you always get a supporting actor or actress award up first. Last year they gave out the supporting actress award first. This year was supporting actor's turn. So obviously the best supporting actor was the first award up. The nominees, you've got them there. Who were the nominees, Rob?
Here's my list. So for supporting actor, Tom Hanks for A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, Anthony Hopkins for The Two Popes, Al Pacino, The Irishman, Joe Pesci, The Irishman, and Brad Pitt, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
And I think we all predicted this one right. He'd been sweeping it across all of the award season, so there was no sort of surprises really when Brad Pitt was announced as best supporting actor.
Budget on the show, so awesome.
yeah. So it's
good speech, gracious win. It was good.
Say again, sorry.
It was a good speech, gracious win.
Yes, it was a good, gracious speech. I thought, it had just the right amount of sort of, he made one or two political jibes, but nothing too heavy. And then, like just a couple of political notes. But then it was mostly humor and thanks. It was a spot-on speech. He gave thanks to people that he's worked with, people who gave him a chance when he got into the
interviews. He said he's been in the business 30 years, so he kind of feels responsible. He has a responsibility. So
yeah. But there we go. So that was the first award that was that was given out. Sorry, last night. And then they went straight on to an award that I wasn't expecting to be announced second. Usually they go from best supporting to the writing awards for adapted or original screenplay. But last night they went straight in to the best animated feature film. I didn't expect.
I was surprised it was so early.
Yeah, I was surprised that this was going to be so early. So obviously the nominations for this award were How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World, I Lost My Body, which is on Netflix, Klaus or Claus, which is on Netflix as well. Missing Link.
You convinced me it was Klaus. So
I believe it is Klaus. I believe it is Klaus.
I thought it was Santa Claus. It was Claus, but whatever.
Yeah, but it's with the spelling of it as well. So yeah. And Toy Story 4 as well. Toy Story 4. So
good for them.
Yeah. So yes. So obviously Rob has just given away that Toy Story 4 was obviously the winner there. The Academy often
said it. You said Toy Story 4 won, so I reacted.
No, I didn't say Toy Story 4 won, but no, that's fine.
Ebony, sorry.
Toy Story 4 did win. Often the Academy rewards the bigger studios when it comes to the animated films. Although the last couple of years they haven't. The last couple of years, like last year, Into the Spider-Verse won and didn't. It beat the Disney. I can't remember what the Disney entries were last year. But yeah, so and there has been a couple of surprises over the last few years.
Was it like Incredibles 2 and Wreck-It Ralph or something? I don't know.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, and so this year I thoroughly, I genuinely thought one of the Netflix ones might take it. Like Klaus had taken the BAFTA, so I did expect that to possibly take it. There seemed to be a lot of love for I Lost My Body as well in the audience when that was read out.
It looks interesting. I want to see it.
Yeah, it's a little bit different. Yeah, I wouldn't watch it again personally, but that's I've seen it. It wasn't terrible, but it just
Okay.
It wasn't my cup of tea. But yeah, so obviously Toy Story 4 won. I did not predict that. I went for Klaus, so I was already behind at this point. I think Brandon got Toy Story 4 correct, as did Rob, as did Grace, and Dan had gone for Missing Link. But the next award up was Best Animated Short. They stuck with the animateds. Best Animated Short. This one was a bit of a wild card because we hadn't really seen all of them. You guys had seen. Was it Kitbull? Was that? Yeah. So there was Daughter, there was Hair Love, there was Kitbull, there was Memorable, and there was Sister.
Link for Hair Love. Go watch it later. It's 16 million views on YouTube. I didn't even realize that we could have watched it. But go watch it later. But I just put it in the thing. Yeah.
So Hair Love was the winner. I literally took a stab in the dark. I hadn't seen any of these. You guys had all seen Kitbull, so you guys went with Kitbull. But yeah, so Hair Love took that one, which put us all back on level terms. All of us on 2 out of 3. So yeah, 2 out of 3 from the get-go. Which it was a good opening segment. I thought getting those first awards out of the way.
Noah said Toy Story 4 is the only Disney movie that won the Oscar this year. Ford versus Fairlane. Ford versus Ferrari is a 20th Century Fox, and that may or may not have won an award too.
Yeah, they said that was pretty much the last films have been made by 20th Century Fox, didn't they? Yeah. So, yeah. So
that's true.
So then, obviously, after those awards had been announced, Josh Gad came out on stage to introduce. To talk about Elsa and to introduce Idina Menzel. And it was great when he said, introducing Idina Menzel, pronounced exactly as it is spelt, which is a jibe to sort of John Travolta calling her Adele Dazeem a few years ago, quite famously. So that was quite funny. And then Idina Menzel's performance of Into the Unknown, which had a great touch with all the various different Elsas from around the world who voice Elsa in a different tongue, including the Japanese.
That was cool.
Yeah, the Thai, the Castilian, German, Norwegian, Russian, Spanish, and Danish Elsas. And the harmonies were great at the end. I thought that was a really nice touch. A good opening performance. Well, not other than the opening number, a good performance of the first of the 5 best original songs. I enjoyed that performance. So then we moved on to the Writing Awards. First up for Best Original Screenplay. Who were the nominees for this one, Rob?
Original screenplay is Knives Out, Marriage Story 1917, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and Parasite. Parasite. It's funny because there's an old horror movie called Parasite. So whenever you go search for it, the old Parasite movie comes up. It's funny.
Grace said, I should have went with Hair Love, changed it last minute. Wah, wah, wah.
I didn't pick Hair Love. I was bummed. So obviously, what did you pick for that? For Best Original Screenplay? I picked Parasite for that.
You did you? Yes, you did. Yeah, you did pick original screenplay, Parasite. Yes, which I picked as well. So yeah, that was one of the big first shocks, because I think a lot of people were expecting Once Upon a Time in Hollywood to take that one, and that was a bit of a precursor to how things might go for the rest of the night. So for Bong Joon-ho and Han Jin-won to take that award for Parasite, it kind of set things up nicely. It showed that the race for the bigger awards was much wider open, and it wasn't
fasten your seatbelts, kids.
It wasn't a done deal. Yeah, it wasn't a done deal like everyone had been predicting leading up to the Oscars. So that was quite cool. Obviously, we moved on to Best Adapted Screenplay.
Knives Out got chosen too, and it didn't win. I wanted that to win, possibly.
That was Knives Out's only nomination, wasn't it? So. Yeah, so obviously, Best Adapted Screenplay, we had The Irishman. The Irishman was nominated for 10 awards, and it didn't do very well. And I'm not sure if it peaked too soon. It seemed to be the film to beat, in the early sort of award season run, and maybe it suffered from not being in the theater. Because I think if you're a Netflix film, you got too many distractions at home.
It didn't hurt Roma.
Well, yeah. It's difficult to sit and watch a 3.5 hour long film though at home. Whereas if you're in the cinema and you have to do it, you're there.
I'll admit I watched it over 3 sittings.
Yeah, so I watched it 2 sittings. So yeah,
we watched it on the plane. We watched it here over 2 or 3 days, and
yeah,
I think the final showing was 2 hours, which is crazy. So
yeah. Jojo Rabbit, Joker, Little Women, and The Two Popes made up the rest of that category. We both went with Jojo Rabbit, which had taken the BAFTA for that award, and we weren't disappointed. Taika Waititi takes the award.
Say that. Say it again 3 times fast.
Taika Waititi.
What is that? What is that?
I can't remember where his origin is. Where his name originates from.
Great name.
But yeah, it's I'll look that up in a moment.
You don't have to look it up. Yeah. I just like the name. But he won. He was awesome. He was really good in the interviews.
Yeah, he won. He's funny. His speech was good. Yeah. So that was Best Adapted Screenplay. Yeah, it was well deserved. His speech. He just really wanted to thank his mum, which was great. His mum gave him the book, which led him to write the adapted screenplay for Jojo Rabbit. So yeah, it was a nice little speech.
Bizarre.
And then we moved on to the Best Live Action Short Film. Again, this one was a bit of a stab in the dark, I think, for us. Who are the nominees for this one?
Live action is Brotherhood. I can't read. Nelta Football Club. Nefta. Sorry. Nefta. The Neighbor's Window, not Widow. The Neighbor's Window. Sahara and A Sister.
Yes.
I picked The Neighbor's Window.
And The Neighbor's Window won. So The Neighbor's Window took that one. That was a stab in the dark.
That's the only one I heard of. So that's what I went with. So.
Yes, likewise. It was the only one that I'd really heard of. So I just went for that one. And yeah, I'm pleased that we managed to get the points on this one. Yeah, it was some good going at that particular point. So let's go back to the chat for just a moment.
Jim says his name is from Enchanted Taiki Room. That's right, Jim.
Yeah.
I love Taiki Room in the text.
Yeah. That's Jedi Blue Master says, I love Spike Lee's outfit that he wore. R.I.P. Kobe Bryant. Yeah, that's it was a great tribute to Kobe. So what do you say? Let's have a look. Oh, okay. He played IG-11 in The Mandalorian. I did not know that. Yeah, and that's what you were saying.
I heard that from Noah, actually.
Sorry?
I heard that from Noah, actually, in our chat.
Oh, did you? Oh, there you go. There you go. Okay, so the next award that was up was for the achievement in production design. Who was nominated for this one?
Oh, production design, The Irishman, Jojo Rabbit, 1917, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and Parasite, production design.
And Parasite. This was one of the ones that I was really torn with. I knew that the Academy would possibly lean towards Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. You know, it's Hollywood, sort of nostalgia of 1969 Hollywood in its, being voted for in its hometown. I should have seen the writing on the wall, but because the BAFTA went to 1917, and obviously people were absolutely stunned by the trenches and things in the production design, I went with 1917. I think we all did, with the exception of Dan in this one, but obviously Once Upon a Time in Hollywood took the award for this one. So yeah, what did you think of that? You've been to Hollywood.
Yeah, I picked 1917 too, and I was just bummed. I was telling Adam too. I don't know on stream as much as off stream is like when you go to Hollywood, it's just so cool and to see like a lot of those locations. You were saying you ate at the restaurant they eat at.
Yeah, Musso and Frank's. Yeah, which you see in the opening scenes. In fact, where it starts off in Musso and Frank's, they then move and sit down at a table with I think it's like Leonardo DiCaprio's agent or manager or something like that, and where they sit is pretty much next to the table where I actually sat and had dinner in Musso and Frank's. So I was sat there like the geek in me was just like, I sat there. So yeah, I was
that's where I started getting nervous for 1917. I'll be honest with you. I picked that and it didn't win.
Yes, yeah, and I was surprised that 1917 didn't take that award. Obviously we moved on to achievement in costume design next. I think this one, everybody knew where this one was going. So achievement in costume design, we had The Irishman, we had Jojo Rabbit, we had Joker, we had Little Women, and we had Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
It's funny, if you see the montages when you go to pick this stuff, it was just clear that this was the winner. Oh yeah, that horror scene with them in there, like, wow, that's amazing costumes. So
that's it. So this went to Little Women, and it's kind of sad that this is the only award that Little Women, like Greta Gerwig, got to take home, was achievement in costume design, because Little Women was a much better film than what it's kind of been rewarded for.
That was it, right?
I thoroughly enjoyed Little Women. A lot of people really enjoyed that film.
It's a good movie.
And it's a shame. It is a great movie. So yeah, it's a shame that it didn't fare better. But there we go. So that's obviously where we stood at this point in the show.
I was riding proud, ladies and gentlemen. 6 wins under my belt. I only got one wrong.
6 out of 8 awards. So we were 1/3 of the way through the show. This is where they then did their second original song performance of the night, where Chrissy Metz sang "I'm Standing With You" from the film Breakthrough.
But she's in that movie, obviously. So.
Yeah, and she did a great job with that. Before we went on to the documentaries, again, these were wild cards for us. So obviously they moved on to best documentary feature next. What were the nominees, Rob?
America Factory, The Cove, The Edge of Democracy, For Sama, and Honeyland. Honeyland.
Yeah, Honeyland was also up for Best International Film. It was North Macedonian entry for Best International Film. So Honeyland had got
you see the trailers and you're just like, wow, American Factory looks awesome. So.
Yeah, For Sama won at the BAFTAs and seemed to be quite popular. The Edge of Democracy and The Cave, I think, were just also rounds. But American Factory hadn't seen nominated at the BAFTAs, but when it came to this, there seemed to be a lot of hype around American Factory, and sure enough, American Factory took the little statue, took the prize there. So I've not seen it, so I can't really add any comments to that. Have you seen that one yet, or
I haven't seen it? No,
you haven't seen it. And then on to Best Documentary Short, which Best Documentary Short we had In the Absence, which was another South Korean entry. We had Learning to Skateboard in a Warzone, If You're a Girl. We had Life Overtakes Me. We had the St. Louis Superman, and we had Walk, Run, Cha-Cha.
I love that title.
Walk, Run, Cha-Cha. The Oscar went to Learning to Skateboard in a Warzone, If You're a Girl. That also won the BAFTA as well. So,
what did Tony Hawk have to do with that? Because he was there.
I don't know. I don't know what Tony Hawk had to do with that. I don't know what Tony Hawk had to do with that movie,
but it intrigued me. Tony Hawk's there now. I want to see this movie. So.
Let's have a look. So,
Bob and Ashley's in the house. What's up, Bob?
Who else is in the chat, Rob?
That's it. That's the only new person.
More sunshine.
More sunshine, please, Jim, my man. The Peep King will be on the stream tonight at 10 on Pepper Tree Villa. That's it. I'll let you know.
Let's have a look. Grace said, I sort of knew by this time I was probably out of it. So sad. I don't know, Grace. I mean, by this point, I think 10 awards.
The problem was we had so many similar picks. So these little sub picks that were different, if you didn't get those, you were out, or it would have been a wash because we had the same picks, So it gets interesting. So hang out, guys.
So Kay says, Grace, you're doing great. And Grace was doing great. She was in it with us. Grace says she usually does better than she did. The best she's ever done is 23 out of 24. Wow. That's that must have been one year where things were super predictable. I mean, one of the things we have said in the build up to this Oscars was the Oscars always has some unpredictability going on, and this year I think we all thought that most of the awards were nailed on in certain areas,
and they were.
I suppose they were, and they might be reflected in we'll see the scores later on with how we did come the end of the night, but there were still surprises to be had.
Oh yeah,
and we will get to those as well.
Let's do the next one.
Yeah, so obviously on to the next one, which was for Best Supporting Actress. Who were the nominees for Best Supporting Actress, Rob?
So we got Kathy Bates and Richard Jewell. We have Laura Dern, Marriage Story. We have Scarlett Johansson, Jojo Rabbit, Florence Pugh, Little Women, and Margot Robbie from Bombshell.
And this one, I think we all kind of figured it was a nailed on done deal, as it had been throughout award season. I wouldn't have been disappointed to have seen this go to someone else because I think some of the other performances were absolutely fantastic. It was a tough category, but Laura Dern, Marriage Story, took this one. It was quite a lovely kind of. I mean, there were some fantastic performances in there, but it was a lovely speech that Laura Dern gave. She actually took her inspiration from her character in Marriage Story from her own divorce lawyer and from Scarlett Johansson's divorce lawyer. Apparently, that's what I heard while they were on the red carpet. Say again, sorry.
Grace was just saying it was a great speech. I agree.
Yes, it was a beautiful, heartfelt speech. She dedicated it to obviously her actor mother and actor father, Diane Ladd and Bruce Dern. And it was quite emotional actually to see both. Obviously, we talked about the power couple in Hollywood before. Greta Gerwig and Noah Baumbach were both in tears when she was giving a speech. Like the camera cuts them because she was in both of their films this year. She was in Little Women as the mother of the Little Women, and she was obviously in Noah Baumbach's film Marriage Story, for which she won this award. So yeah, it was they were both in tears together, which was quite nice. And what a birthday present as well for Laura Dern. It's her birthday.
Happy birthday, Laura Dern, today.
Happy birthday, Laura Dern. Chin chin.
Cha-ching. Cheers. Dilly dilly, as Dean
dilly, as they say. Yeah. So obviously that moved us then into an Eminem performance, and this is where the scores are at the moment. Eminem's performance was actually a genuine surprise. Like they
said it wasn't even on the tally. Like there wasn't even on the roster. Like they just threw it in to surprise people.
Yeah, they threw it in to surprise people. It kind of like you kind of get into the halfway point in the show, and it was the pop that it needed again. I think you could see a lot of people were enjoying it. Not everybody. Martin Scorsese looked absolutely dumbfounded. He was kind of sat there, which was hilarious. I laughed my head off watching Martin Scorsese's look on his face. But yes, it was a shame Eminem had a couple of technical difficulties. His mic cut in and out a couple of times at the beginning, but and the string accompaniment, because obviously he was singing "Lose Yourself" from 8 Mile. They were talking about iconic songs in films that where you take a song and you'll always visualize the film when you hear that song, and the film's never the same. It's made songs never the same again as well. So
I didn't understand where it came from, but whatever, it was all right.
It was, I enjoyed it, and I enjoyed the string accompaniment. It was a slightly different twist on the song. Then we went on to obviously the sound awards. So first of all, the achievement in sound editing. Who were the nominees for achievement in sound editing, Rob?
I think this is where we differentiated. So this is my downfall between the hair. Between what was it? The hair move, the hair short, hair love. Between hair love, which I lost, and then this, not so good. Started spoiler there. So visual sound mixing was the first one.
Sound editing.
That's right. Ford versus Fairlane. I said it again. Ford versus Ferrari. Woo.
Ford versus Ferrari.
Ford Fairlane. Ford versus Ferrari. Joker 1917. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker, which is amazing sound. So.
Yeah, and it's funny because we were saying like the other week, and it was kind of proven last year as well. It's always like the sound films normally go to either music films or war films. Although with the sound editing, if you get a good car racing film as well, the sound editing in that is normally very, very good. And so I picked Ford versus Ferrari in this one. What did you pick?
I picked 1917.
You picked 1917.
I loved your reasoning behind it too when we talked about it at the Oscar. Yeah, but I still picked 1917.
Yeah,
I thought 1917 was going to kill.
The award went to Ford versus Ferrari.
And I got nervous there too. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, that was a bit of a shock.
I love Ford versus Fairlane. I'm going to keep saying it. I love Ford versus Ferrari. I said it on purpose. I love that movie. I thought it was great. So my top 3 of the 9. So, I was happy to see it win. To be honest.
Yeah, it was. But
I didn't pick it.
You didn't pick it. No. We then moved on to achievement in sound mixing. And again, it was very, very similar nominees. There was one difference. So Star Wars wasn't in this one. I think it was Ad Astra instead. So instead of Star Wars, there was Ad Astra, and then Joker, 1917, Ford versus Ferrari, and what was the last one?
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and this one went with the war movie theory. This one, the sound mixing, went to 1917. So 1917 did manage to take the prize
for 1917
for this one. So that moved us kind of onto the next performance of a song in the night, which was "I Can't Let You Throw Yourself Away" by Randy Newman. Randy
Newman looked like he did not want to be there.
I don't know. He looks very, very old now, Randy Newman. I think you commented on that last night at the time. He looks very old, and I know what you mean. I think he looked awkward when the song finished, and because they were cut into a commercial break as well, he had to stand there and just wait. He couldn't
It was very awkward. So
yeah, it was a very awkward.
Who cares? It was stupid. It was they did that with all the music performers. They just stood there like they were idiot.
Yeah, yeah. So let's take a look then. So that scores there. I was on 11. Dan had fallen really far behind. I know he went for a few wild picks this year, and they kind of didn't do him any favors. Rob, you were on 10. You were just behind me, nipping on my tail. Brandon was also on 5. Brandon was struggling. Now, Brandon had actually changed his picks on the night because he had talked to guys who know movies. And
he did his own.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't understand Brandon's comment with he talked to guys who know stuff about movies. Like we don't know stuff about movies. I mean, Grace is very knowledgeable and she gave all of her input during our predictions. Yeah, I've kind of worked on a couple of films. I'd like to think I know a little bit about movies. Yeah.
Of course you do. You're awesome.
But Brandon went and wanted a second opinion and he wanted to change a few votes. It's quite interesting, actually, that it wouldn't have made a single bit of difference. I checked what his original predictions were versus his new predictions this morning, and his end score finished up exactly the same, which was quite funny.
So next year we lock it in; it's locked in. So
next year it will be locked in completely. So yeah, so after Randy Newman's performance, they also gave another little kind of recap performance with, is it Questlove? Is that the DJ's name who's DJing? And some dude kind of cut a little rap, just kind of talking about how the awards had been dealt out so far. It was actually quite a good little spin. He did well to come up with that.
It was cool.
Yeah, but then we moved on to the achievement in cinematography. Yeah, now this one was, I think, nailed on from the start. I think all of us went for the same one, with the exception of Brandon. Brandon went for the cinematography, the one and only Oscar nomination for The Lighthouse. And I can see why. You know, it was shot in a completely different style. But when you look at this film, everyone knows that this was only going to go to one place, and it went to Roger Deakins for 1917. No surprises there. What did you think of the cinematography in 1917, Rob?
Phenomenal. I love that movie. It was, my top 3. I really loved it. So out of the 9, top 3. So far it was Ford versus Ferrari, 1917, and then had another top one. So
yeah. So yeah, who were in the running award? Sorry, as well. We didn't cover who was actually nominated for.
So cinematography is The Irishman, Joker, Lighthouse, 1917, and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah, I mean all good cinematography, but yeah, 1917 just absolutely nailed it. So yeah, Kay Atwood. I was thinking Adam has worked on movies. He knows movies. Yeah, thank you, Kay. Yeah, it made me. Yeah, Grace, exactly. Adam knows movies. Thanks, Grace. Yeah, it was. I didn't get Brandon's comment on that either, but yeah, to each of his own. Dan picked Ford versus Ferrari. I'm not sure which category that.
This is for sound, I think she was saying. So.
Oh right, yeah, for sound. Yes.
What's next?
Yes. 1917 was visually stunning. Yes, it was. It was completely.
We'll get to that.
Absolutely stunning visually with the cinematography. So then we moved on to achievement in film editing. So what were the nominees for achievement in film editing?
Ford vs. Ferrari, The Irishman, Jojo Rabbit, Joker, and Parasite.
And who did you go for?
I went for Ford vs. Ferrari. That's the one I gave it to. I'm glad I did.
Yes. I went for Ford versus Ferrari as well. The award went to Ford versus Ferrari. So yeah. Rob, I think you know movies. Maybe.
It definitely helped that I did see all the Best Picture movies. I wish I saw all more like you, but it definitely helps. So.
No, it does help.
Following the award season, that's why we did as well as we did, because we just followed what won what, and the different hype and everything, and just read it.
It certainly helps as well. So, but yeah, so Ford versus Ferrari took that particular award. Which then I think after film editing, they went on to a performance of Stand Up by Cynthia Erivo. Cynthia Erivo was nominated in the same categories as Lady Gaga last year for best song and for leading actress, which and had she won an Oscar as well, if she took one of the prizes, she would have been, I think, the youngest ever person to win an EGOT, to do the EGOT, which is an Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, and Tony, I believe. Yeah. So
yeah. By the way, this is where I was at last year, 12. So, and we still have a ton of more awards to go. So
yes, you were. Yeah. So you leveled your score from last year. That was that's some good going, dude. That is some good going.
Thank you. I know movies.
Yeah. You do know movies. Yeah. So yeah, the performance of stand up as well. I just want to say, for me, that was performance of the night. And if it was done like some sort of America's Got Talent, Britain's Got Talent, X Factor thing, I think that could have easily won the best original song, because that performance last night I thought was really, really powerful, and the best performance.
Wasn't it controversy she was even to sing it or not, or something? I don't know, something like that. The hell knows.
No, not that well, not that I heard anyway. So.
Good.
So we moved on to the next the next award, then achievements in visual effects. So who are the nominees in this one?
I'm in a different order, so I have to always track it down. So give me a second. Oh, I got confused. I thought they did this earlier in the night, but they didn't. So visual effects: Avengers: Endgame, The Irishman, The Lion King, 1917, and Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. So.
Yeah, that was like we joked on the prediction show, didn't we? Saying this was like asking Brandon to choose between his children. So,
I thought it was. And they showed in the montage. They showed how they actually did the visual effects, which I thought was really
cool.
I picked 1917 because I thought it was going to win everything pretty much. But.
Yeah, and I went with 1917 as well, and because it took the BAFTA, and 1917 obviously took this award. I don't think I would have gone with 1917 had it not won the BAFTA. So that was, like you say, when you see certain films taking other awards, then it's easy to then pick another one.
So what's the total there?
I'll come to that in a minute. I don't have it written down yet. They're all in order.
So
yeah. So we moved on to then achievement
hairstyling
and makeup and hairstyling. So who are the nominees for achievement in makeup and hairstyling?
Bombshell, Joker, Judy, Maleficent. I think was that the only nomination from Maleficent?
Was the only nomination for Maleficent. 1917. Yeah, I thought that the makeup and hairstyling in obviously Maleficent was good. But I couldn't agree with 1917 being nominated. I mean, makeup maybe, but hairstyling, really? Yeah. I mean, I don't know what hairstyling there was to do in a war film of people running across fields and in the trenches, with helmets on. I mean, Bombshell was.
Yeah, you just hear so much about it, and you see the makeup process, and she was.
Yeah,
it was good.
Yeah, they completely transformed half of the cast in that movie. And so obviously it came as no surprise that Bombshell took the award. I believe it was the same makeup artist who transformed Gary Newman into Winston Churchill a couple of years ago in Darkest Hour. And Gary Newman famously said he wouldn't do that movie unless this particular makeup artist, I forget his name, apologies for that. Let's see if I can find it here. Is it Kazuhiro? Yeah, Kazuhiro. Unless he did it, like Gary Newman wouldn't have done Darkest Hour, and this is his first Oscar since that one with Gary Newman. And again, it was a similar style. He just completely transformed the actors that you saw on screen.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah. So I think this next award was the easiest shoe-in of the night. This
new category. Well, it was best foreign.
New category. Yeah, we were discussing this on the stream. Yeah, so it used to be best film in a foreign language, and they've renamed it to best international film. So obviously, the winner of this film is the first ever winner of how this has been renamed. I'm not sure I agree with the renaming of it, best international film, because surely that would mean any film from outside the United States would become an international film, and that would include any British entries like 1917. It's still essentially what they're still picking is films done not in the English language. So, So by that reckoning, it's
Right.
I don't understand the name the name change.
I agree with you.
Yeah, but obviously nominated in this one was Corpus Christi from Poland, Honeyland, which was obviously in the documentary category as well, from North Macedonia, Les Miserables from France, not the Les Mis that we all know and love, the musical. It was this one was a police movie. Pain and Glory from Spain, which also had another nomination in the acting
They were
category.
hyping that. I got nervous. I thought that was going to win, but
Pain and Glory was a good film. It was like, it's not something that I would really go out and watch by choice, but no, it was a good drama, which had Antonio Banderas in it, had Penelope Cruz in it as well. So and yeah, Parasite from South Korea. So there's no prizes for guessing where this film was going. You know, the hype in the run up, it was only going to go to one place. It went obviously to Parasite. So yeah, Kay has said it, saying hashtag Adam Rob Grace knows movies. Yeah, and you have to cut the hair so it fits under the helmets. Possibly. I'm
not buying it. But good.
Yeah, I'm not sure I buy that one either. So obviously, by this point, these are where the scores were at after Best International Film, and we moved on to our last musical performance of the night, which was Sir Elton John performing I'm Gonna Love Me Again from, of course, Rocket Man.
Not a great song, but it's Elton John.
Yeah. I noticed as well. I mean, you look at the Dolby Theatre and it's huge. This was the third different grand piano they had on that stage that night. You know, so you can just imagine the chaos in the back. You know, this Elton was on his red grand piano. Like, you know, they had another one on the opening number and another one when Randy Newman sang earlier in the night. So yeah, it was quite interesting. Just something that I noted, and then. So that was the scores where we were at. I was on 16. So I'd beaten last year's score by this point. Dan was on 9 and was starting to sort of recoup some of his early fallback. Rob was on 15. Brandon, who spoke to people who know films, was on 6. And Grace was on 14.
And I think at this point, I can't even beat you because our picks from now on were similar, right? They were just done.
They were similar. So yeah.
Maybe one different, but that was it, unfortunately. So
yeah, Avery, welcome into the chat. He says, hello, everyone. He says, I like Elton. He's a legend. Yes, he most certainly is a legend.
Look, I love Elton John. He's awesome, but I just didn't think the song was great. You know, you're giving it to Elton John.
Yeah,
that movie got 0 nominations, just the song. That's it. So, you know, you're coming off last year was Bohemian Rhapsody. You know, okay, next year is going to be the Elton John movie, and it just didn't do great. So, I didn't even think
it didn't have the same. Yeah, it did not have the same appeal to it as Europe had done.
Yeah, but look, the song was good. Did it deserve the win? I think so. I picked it. So.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we've not got to song category yet.
Who cares?
But yeah,
if you want spoilers, you're in the wrong place. So.
Yeah, no, I mean, people know the results already. Like, you know, it's they're all over the news. Certainly, they are in the UK. I imagine they are over there in the States as well. I imagine it becomes on the news. Let's take a look. The Bernie finally won an Oscar. Yeah, that's something we will come to in just a moment. Obviously, before that, we had super women of Sigourney Weaver. Obviously, Gal Gadot and Brie Larson, all superheroes in their own right. So the superhero women coming to introduce the first ever female conductor at the Oscars to conduct the orchestra through the 5 nominations of Best Original Score, which I thought was a great touch. And how fitting that was then, as they were conducting the scores, and all of the scores were brilliant. I loved. They all gave me such a different feeling. But yeah, some of those scores were just absolutely phenomenal. So they were conducted, and then how fitting when you've just had these 3 super women on stage to introduce the first ever female conductor in the 92 years of the Academy Awards. That then the winner goes to a female film composer.
Marriage Story, 1917, and Star Wars. John Williams is my favorite. So, but it was
yes, John Williams. I would have liked to have seen it, but this one went to Joker. It went to.
I picked it. Going through in your mind, seeing those 9 movies, that really stood out as that's the score. That's what really, it's just seeing the trailers and the promotion for it and seeing the movie, that the score was incredible. So she definitely deserved it.
Yeah. So Hilda Gudnadottir, who was the first person from Iceland to win an Oscar as well, I believe. So she's so softly spoken as well. I really liked her speech.
Yeah, it was cool.
So she won that award, and it was well deserved. The score in Joker is great, and even just hearing it, like I say, in the auditorium being played, the 1917 score and the Joker one, they gave me goosebumps both times.
Definitely.
So it was great to hear those. That then moves us on to best original song, while we're staying with with the music.
Over almost. Yeah.
So obviously we'd heard the 5.
Man.
Yeah, exactly. Who were the nominees again? Into the Unknown. How does that bit go?
Can't let you throw yourself away. I'm gonna love me again. I'm standing with you. Into the Unknown and Stand Up. So
yeah, I think like the hype was always behind Elton John, and like I say, if it had gone on Performance of the Night, I would have given it to Stand Up. And I really wanted to be wrong in this category. As the night went on, I wanted Stand Up to win it from Harriet.
It was a good song. Yeah.
It was a good song, but as you guys have alluded to, Elton John, I'm Gonna Love Me Again from Rocket Man. What were you saying then?
Nothing. I said I took a bathroom break during that song, but I heard it though.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So Elton John's second win and 4th nomination, but it was the first Oscar nomination for Bernie Taupin, as was just alluded in the chat there by
all right,
Grace.
Here we go. Here comes the biggies. Here comes the boom, as always.
So we are going into the biggies. I'm just going to the chat for a moment. I saw 1917 after I submitted my picks. I was like, the score was from 1917 was so good. Yes, it was. It was
good.
Absolutely chilling. Vipey Project in the chat. Welcome, Vipey Project. I need to start watching more movies. Mindy gets mad that I never take her. Ed, take her to watch some more movies. Yeah, that's one of the most fun things about leading up to the Oscars, and our little competition that we have running is just seeing all these different movies. It's just so much fun. So the next one then we headed into, like you say, we're heading into the biggies, was for best director.
Here's where it went down.
So who are the nominees? Who were the nominees for best director? Rob, let's go.
This is me messaging you on Twitter.
Yeah.
So directing The Irishman, Joker, 1917.
Yeah, who are the directors as well? Who are the directors?
I don't have them. So, and Parasite.
Oh, you don't have them. Okay, my bad. Sorry.
That's all right.
So the for achievement in film director, for best director, Martin Scorsese for The Irishman, Todd Phillips for Joker, Sam Mendes for 1917, Quentin Tarantino for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and Bong Joon-ho for Parasite. And we all were convinced. I think all of us were convinced that
for the best picture.
Well,
here comes the yes, sir.
1917. Sam Mendes was scooping the awards the whole season long. You know, he'd taken the Directors Guild Award, he'd taken the Golden Globe, he'd taken the BAFTA. You know, he was taking every single award, and then it came to the Oscars.
Sorry,
and Bong Joon-ho from Parasite. And I remember when that was announced last night, my jaw hit the floor. I was like, oh my God, because that just changed the landscape of how the rest of the night was going to go as well.
Usually the director and the best picture is the same thing.
Usually, not always. When Gravity took best director, and when La La Land took best director, they didn't go on to take best picture. So it can change it up, but yeah, it made it very interesting though, because obviously cinematography is normally looped in with those, and cinematography had gone to 1917. So obviously when when Bong Joon-ho then takes Best Director, it was we were both messaging each other like, wow, we couldn't believe that one, could we? So
nope.
Yeah.
We could not.
So Kimmy Evans, hey Kim. So she's in the chat, watching from Belfast at the moment. So Bong Joon's win was shocking. I agree. His speech was excellent. Oh, and look who else is in the chat.
Hey, Ebony. Hi, people. Ebony did a premiere the other day. She goes, hi, people.
Yeah, Ebony, my daughter, Ebony's little channel. She's just popped on to say goodnight. Yeah, it's 11 o'clock and you have school tomorrow, darling. So yeah, please go to sleep and sleep tight. And I love you.
Hi, people.
Okay. So yeah,
sweet.
Bless her. She's coming to say hi. So obviously the scores at this point after Bong Joon-ho had won for Best Director, I was on 18, which I was staggered with by this point. I was like, oh my God, I'm on 18. Dan was on 9. Rob was on 17. Brandon on 8. And Grace keeping up with us as well on 16. Say again, sorry, buddy?
There's no stopping me until that. So
no. That's it.
That got me worried. It's like,
yeah. So yeah, Kim says, I'm glad I've not missed the big awards chat. No, this is where the big ones came up. So Kim, I hope work has gone well today. So this is where the big ones came up, and this is where we found ourselves heading into the final straight of the night. So obviously the last 3 big awards to come up, starting with Best Actor. Now this one, I mean, I think the acting categories, and especially Best Actor, were pretty much, again, it was set in stone, but then we'd said that about Best Director. So that was like, oh, is this going to spring enough surprise? So who are the nominees for?
So for actor, it's Antonio Banderas. What are we doing? Best Actor.
Yeah,
that's what I said.
Yeah, Best Actor. Yeah.
That's what I was reading. Antonio Banderas. Yeah. Pain and Glory. Leonardo DiCaprio. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Are you reading this for me? Adam Driver for Marriage Story, or Joaquin Phoenix for Joker, and Jonathan Pryce for The Two Popes. Sorry.
No, that's fine. That's fine. There was a bit of hype around Jonathan Pryce's.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, he won me over. I really liked him in the interviews and stuff.
His performance was great. Yeah, his performance was great as well. But yeah, this one, we all were convinced it was locked in. We weren't wrong. Joaquin Phoenix, Joker. Joaquin Phoenix had the political speech of the night. It's fair to say.
I don't even know what the hell he was talking about, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Oh, I've got to pay a mention as well to Olivia Colman before she announced this award. Her speech was hilarious. Olivia Colman, she gave a great speech when she won Best Actress at last year's Oscars, and I mean, she was absolutely hilarious then. And last night when she came out to present this award, she didn't fail to she didn't disappoint. She didn't fail to kind of live up to how she was last year. She was absolutely superb, hilarious again. Had the whole auditorium in fits of laughter and people at home as well. So I love Olivia Colman to bits. Her sense of humor is brilliant. So obviously Joaquin Phoenix, he gave the political speech of the night, which has kind of resonated in the news headlines. But there was a nice touch and a nice little quote or lyric from his brother River Phoenix at the end, which was just an emotional note on the end of it, which was great. But yeah, no prizes. What did you make of the acting performances, Rob, and this award?
Well, I picked Joaquin Phoenix. Is that what you asking me?
Yeah, but I mean, what did you think of his performance as well?
In Joker?
In Joker, yeah.
He was great. I thought he definitely deserved it. Good night, people. There it is. Yeah, I thought he deserved it, and he won. So, Leonardo was pretty good. Adam Driver is pretty good. I haven't seen Two Popes or Pain and Glory, so I really can't comment on those. But I thought it was a lock, and you won it. So.
Yeah, it was a lock in, and I think having watched all of those films, some of the performances were absolutely great. I didn't think Leo was really in the running for this one. It wasn't his performance like with Revenant. Where have you gone, Rob? What are you doing? Are you trying to tuck your head between your legs? Like, I don't know if you're preparing for like an airplane crash or what. Like, brace.
Like, my camera. That's all. Sorry about that.
Yeah. Yeah. Kimmy says Joaquin's speech was awesome. So yeah, it was a powerful speech. Yeah, there's always one.
You can explain it to me one day.
We went then on to Best Actress. This one, I think everyone was convinced with where it was going, but I don't think it was as locked in as Best Actor. So obviously, for Best Actress, we had Cynthia Erivo from Harriet. We had Scarlett Johansson from Marriage Story. We had Saoirse Ronan from Little Women. We had Charlize Theron from Bombshell, and we had Renee Zellweger from Judy. Say again?
I'm laughing at Viper project. Practicing for an earthquake.
Rob is practicing for an earthquake. You're gonna stand in a doorway.
I have a shoot tomorrow. I was actually charging my battery. Sorry about that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this was a tough category because they're all really good. So
yeah, I think any other year, Scarlett Johansson takes this prize. And I would love to see Saoirse Ronan win an award soon. She's only 25 years old. She's already been nominated for 4 Oscars, but she's not won one yet. But I like everything that Saoirse Ronan does. I've not seen a bad performance from her yet. And Cynthia Erivo was also absolutely stunning, a very powerful performance in Harriet. But this one, like I say, any other year, any of those could have won the prize. But Renee Zellweger for her performance as Judy Garland, to whom she dedicated the award as well. She was fantastic. I love Renee Zellweger's natural voice. She's just so softly spoken and just very, very sweet as she's kind of thanking a million people. And she wasn't reading a speech. I don't know if she rehearsed that over and over again because to list that many names.
And she loved a lot of people.
Yeah, good. She did. Yeah, but So that moved on to the big one, the 92nd Academy Awards. So 9.
I could read the Twitter forth. So
say again, sorry.
Said I wish I could read through the Twitter going back and forth. Me and you try to figure out what would win here.
Oh yeah. I mean, obviously, once Bong Joon-ho had taken Best Director, which was absolutely shocking, that threw this one wide open. So obviously, Ford v Ferrari was nominated. The Irishman was nominated. For 10 films, for 10 categories, The Irishman was nominated, and it could have won a maximum of 9 awards because 2 awards were against each other in supporting actor. But as of yet, The Irishman hadn't won a single award all night. Jojo Rabbit was nominated. Joker was nominated. Then you also had Little Women. You had Marriage Story. You had 1917. You had Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And you had Parasite. And all of us, with the exception of Brandon, went for 1917. Again, a film that had been scooping Best Picture, the Golden Globes, it took the BAFTA. And I think at the SAG Awards, did it take Best Picture as well?
So yeah.
Yeah. So it was interesting that we all went for that. Brandon went with Parasite. And yeah, I mean,
surprising because the kid loves Joker, so I don't know why he picked Parasite, but he loves Parasite too.
Yeah, and Parasite is a fantastic film as well. Yeah, I think looking at how award season
SAG Awards for Best Picture.
Oh, did Parasite win at SAG Awards?
I looked it up. Yeah.
Oh wow, I did not know that. But then for last night, the winner was Parasite, which was again that was another wow moment. Yeah, I think the writing was on the wall with how some of the awards were going earlier in the night. Like I say, Parasite taking Best Original Screenplay over Once Upon a Time in Hollywood was kind of a precursor to that the pendulum was shifting in the momentum. The momentum had been with 1917 throughout most of the award season, but that pendulum was swinging. I think Bong Joon-ho and, like I say, Sharon Choi, his translator, had really, really won people over on the whole sort of red carpet award season. And so, yeah, the first ever film not in an English language to win Best Picture. What did you think? What do you think of Parasite?
It was in my top 3, so that was my final top 3. So my 1917, which I picked to win, which I think it deserves to win. Parasite and Ford vs. Ferrari were my top 3 of the 9. So I really liked them. So
yeah,
I was actually telling someone the details of it today, and as I told it, it was a very cool story to tell to someone, and they were like, "Oh, maybe I should have saw."
Yeah. I mean, I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was in my top 3 as well. I didn't think it would win.
Subtitles, of course, but
yeah, I didn't think it would win. The subtitles didn't bother me so much. I didn't think it would win at all. But it was one of those wow moments, and I wasn't disappointed. Yes, there's an element of me that really wanted 1917 to win, and I think 1917 deserved it. But I mean, I like we've said, and like Grace has alluded to in the chat as well. 1917 was visually stunning. The cinematography was great. The direction was brilliant.
So, but
for the audience to be taken on an entire journey with just 2 people, and then one throughout the rest of the film, it's stunning, and it's breathtaking. It literally takes your breath away. So that's why I thought 1917 should take it.
You're like one of the soldiers that are going with them. So
yeah, but what I will say is the twist in Parasite, it takes a very dark turn, and I think the twist in Parasite, I mean, the storytelling is just superb. And and acting is a universal language. Using the
characters
your body,
incredible.
Whether they're doing it in English or not. Say again.
The characters were just incredible. They were really good.
Yes, yeah, the characters were incredible, and it was great that the whole cast and crew went on this whole run with throughout the award season. They were there with Bong Joon-ho the whole time. So yeah,
this movie's been out forever too. It's been out since summer, I think, right? It's been just forever. I don't know.
Yeah, Kim said 1917 felt so immersive. I felt I was there. Felt like I was there. Yeah, and I completely agree with that, Kim. It takes the audience as the third member. Grace says no. I think Parasite won. Parasite won Best Cast at the SAG Awards. Kay has said so. With the movies this year, which was your favorite?
You're right. I'm sorry. I apologize. You're right. She's right. Sorry about that. I don't know. Congratulations again.
Yeah, thank you, Ed. Yeah. What was your favorite movie?
Like I said, the top 3. I don't know. I thought 1917 would win. I really liked Ford vs. Ferrari, and I really liked Parasite. It was good. It was good. So did it deserve to win Best Picture? I think 1917 did. And the one thing about these awards is the awards were all over the place. Well, that's what I was going to add. I was going to interrupt you and ask, what was the biggest winner? Parasite with 4 awards? Parasite
with 4 awards was the biggest winner. 1917 took 3 awards. I think one of the others took 3 awards as well. I can't remember which, and then a couple of them took 2 awards.
Yeah, there was no winner, and I thought 1917 was going to be that big winner, and it just wasn't. So
no.
So we kept the in our chat going back and forth. Such and such was robbed. Such and such was robbed. I truly feel 19. Was robbed.
Brandon was such and such was robbed, and literally when it came to director and Best Picture, Saoirse Ronan, she's her generation's Kate Winslet. I couldn't agree more, Grace. She's an absolutely stunningly brilliant actress. She's not done a bad performance yet, I don't think so.
I guess Parasite was a good movie too. I can't really take it away from it, but and my point really isn't that I'm not saying that Parasite, I guess, didn't deserve it, but I felt that 1917 deserved more. Is that a good way to put it?
Yes, I completely agree. I completely agree with you. Yeah, you've worded that brilliantly. I couldn't have worded that better myself. Walt from Mouse Dog, who won? Did Lord of the Rings win? Yes, everything.
It did. I think in years past, like this one for this gimmick and this one for that gimmick, and this, I'll be honest with you, I felt it was a gimmick. I thought it worked. It worked really well, and it was shot well, and I really loved the movie, visually stunning and everything. But maybe it was like a gimmick, and it just didn't make it. Just I don't know. I don't know why.
I thought it was a bold experiment that paid off.
Experiment. There it is.
Yeah, I thought it was a bold experiment that really paid off, and it's just a shame it didn't take the top prize in the end. Parasite did really well, says Walt. Grace loved 1917. Also loved Judy because of who it was about, and I adore Renee.
I haven't seen Judy. I still want to see it.
It's a great performance. It is a fantastic performance. So, and Grace did say earlier as well, Renee. Now that's a way to make a comeback into Hollywood. Yeah, Renee's. That was a great comeback for her. And
so my takeaway too is I still want to see Two Popes. I still want to finish watching Bombshell. I didn't finish watching it. I want to see Judy. I want to see Beautiful Day in His Neighborhood, and I want to see what else was the other one. And I want to see. I forget what the other one was. There's another movie in there. I guess I'll see Richard Jewell. I don't know. You haven't watched Richard Jewell yet, have you?
No. I mean, I had 3 movies. I had 28 to watch. I watched 25, and the 3 I didn't manage to sit down and watch were The Lighthouse, Richard Jewell, and A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. But I managed to watch just snippets of them so I could get a feel for each of them.
Right.
Yeah, sort of. Thank you, Kay.
I forget what the other movie was.
And also, thank you, Walt, as well. So congrats on 500 subs. Thank you, Walt. Appreciated. So that took us then to the scores at the end of the night. Obviously, we've had a competition running, which started last year on Pub Talk. I've done this for the last few years as well, but I've never really had anyone to kind of do it against.
What was your prediction to win? What do you think you were going to get?
What, for Best Picture? I went with 19.
How many did you think you were going to get?
Oh, well, we sat last night, didn't we? Talking like our impromptu sort of red carpet discussion, and I said I genuinely started to fear my predictions. I know someone locked in, but I wasn't as convinced. Like I say, there's been past Oscars where I've sat there and I've said, I think I'll get 20, and then I look and I've got 12, and it's like, wow, I did terribly, and that's happened a few times. I might get 12 and I get 14. So last year I finished on 15. So this year I thought if I hit 17 or 18, I've probably done well, is what I thought. There was a few shoe-ins, and I knew there was always the potential for the Oscars to spring a surprise. It always does, and it certainly didn't fail to disappoint this year with Best Director and Best Picture springing that. But
I don't know what I was thinking. How I thought it was going to get 20, but
when you said last year, when you said last night, that you thought you were going to get 20, I thought it was a bold prediction that you thought you were going to get 20. But
confident.
Hey, you need to go and watch Hair Love, and you need to give that film some love, because that kept me in the race. I thought if Kit Bull wins that award, I'm well and truly out of the running early in the night, and it didn't let me down. Hair Love.
Because 1, I beat you over, and then 2, you beat me over. So that's how we got the results.
Yeah. So we only had 3 different results, and one you got. I took the other 2, which means at the end of the night,
I came close to 20.
So
this guy got 20. This guy right here, he's awesome.
This is my best result on an Oscars prediction night. So 20. Thank you very much. So I got 20. Dan didn't do as well this year. He finished lower than he did last year with 11. He finished on 12 last year. Brandon, similarly, he spoke to some guys who know movies and corrected some of his predictions, because these guys know movies better than apparently we do. And Brandon finished on 11.
See, I think his problem, people he talked to are passionate about movies and want what they want. We picked it. We were picking who would win. They were picking who they want to win. I'll be honest with you. So, because I know his friend.
Yeah,
his friend got 8 right, I think. So, his one friend. So,
wow. So,
not being
Grace,
but I love that about them, that they're passionate about movies. But go ahead. I'm sorry, Grace. What was it?
So I was just saying, if my final score doesn't start with a 2, I'm disappointed. That's And Kim says, "Ooh, that was a close race." So yeah, there we go. So last year I won this. Tomorrow, a second one of these will be arriving. No. I will have 2 of these on display for the 2019 predictions. Pub Talk predictions.
Put yourself full screen. Go ahead. Take me
2020.
Take me off full screen. You can do your acceptance speech now, Adam. Go ahead.
I would like to start by thanking my mum and dad for always believing in me. Yeah, they let me make these predictions, and they always supported me, believe in me. I want to thank my Pub Talk co-producers and friends, Mr. RobFuz, Mr. DizneyDan, and Mr. Brandon Phantasmic Ears. I want to thank you, the viewers, the voters, the people that joined in, the Graces, the Kays, the Kimmies, and everyone else. I want to dedicate this to my daughter Ebony.
Oh,
because Ebony,
hi people!
If you can dream it, you can do it. And I dreamt about winning this award twice in a row, and I won it twice in a row. Well, twice in a row. So I'm going to have another one of these, and I'm going to dedicate it to Ebony. So Noah's saying congrats. So Kim is saying, yay, that's 2 for the new house. Yeah, that's right. They're going to say pride of place. I'm going to get them labeled up as well. This is the 2019. Adam gets to keep his award. No, I get to add to my award. There's going to be a second one of these bad boys. So Grace does say congrats, Adam.
One day.
and she says, I was dying that I came in 3rd. You said I would finish 3rd on Friday, Adam. I was laughing my butt off. Sorry. I no movies apparently.
If 1970 won Best Picture and Best Director, you would have 21 right. But I can't believe
I was
Blue Director, we blew Best Picture. That stinks.
I would have had 22. You finished. You were only one off. You predicted.
Right. Sorry.
Yeah, you predicted that. So I've never been mentioned in a thank you speech before. That's all right, Grace. But yeah, so I mean, you predicted yesterday that you'd get 20, and I laughed at you at the time, thinking, "Oh, dude, you're gonna maybe get 14." Like, because I've done it before. I've sat there going, "Oh, I'll get 22."
I'll be honest with you, because I watched the movies this year, and I did a little research. I did my homework. I definitely felt solid. Like I said, at least 15, probably 18, or more than 15, 16. I was feeling good about, and then I did close to. I did 19, which is great. So, yeah, excellent acceptance. I can't believe it's not your award anymore. It's not your award. It's an old award.
It's my award. It's right there. Just above my hand. It's taken pride. Well, that's not pride of place. So it will go. It will when I'm in the new house. So next year's Oscars party, because I think I'm going to throw an Oscars party when I'm in the new house next year. Like I'll make sure that obviously there's the two of them sort of taking the pride of place, and I'll make sure I show them off in the Pub Talk predictions next year, and hopefully we'll make sure that somebody wins one next year as well. Will I take a 3rd? Will Rob beat me? Will Grace? Will Brandon or Dan? Dan. I was surprised Dan only finished with 11 this year. Dan knows his movie better than that. So,
well, again, I think Dan went with his heart a lot too. So
yeah, I think he went with Dan. Did some tactical voting away from the picks that everyone was making. I think just in case, because a lot of these categories were 2-horse races. Like Best Picture eventually it came down to Parasite and 1917. Whereas when award season started, everyone thought The Irishman was the movie to beat, and then up until only a few weeks ago, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood was well and truly in the race as well. So yeah. So Grace says, Adam, you need to invite people who can take off the next day. Basically that's what I'll be telling people. Just book the next day of work, and then people can come to the party. So
that was really good. Very good year. To be honest with you, I don't like the no host thing, and I was telling Adam too. I like the way they feature the movies. Like they'll talk about it and like, this is 1917, and you'll see a clip from the movie and everything. I like that. And I really like when they show like the montages. That's always my favorite. And they only did like 1 or 2 or something, maybe. Oh, you didn't mention Billie Eilish did Imagine. Or what was Imagine? What did she know?
Oh, so Billie Eilish did. She did yesterday, for the In Memoriam, which came later in the night than it normally would as well. In Memoriam is normally maybe 2/3 or 3/4 of the way through the night, and they did that quite late on, just before the last 3 awards.
Right.
So yeah, it was like we said earlier on as well. The Oscars were meant to run until 4 a.m. UK time, which and I think it ran maybe almost 25 minutes over. So because they tried to dim down the lights, didn't they? They tried to dim down the lights on the Parasite crew
back and start. I think they made the only one who English. So
they managed to bring the lights back up, which was good. Allowed them to give fuller acceptance speeches. So yeah, I think I want to see a host back. Another thing worth noting as well, that this year's Oscars was much earlier in the year. It's normally towards the end of February.
Yeah, that's right.
And they did it early February this time, and they were saying that a lot of the people that were going around all the award season were exhausted, which is why Brad Pitt didn't make it across to the BAFTAs. He just needed some time off. Whereas obviously when they're a bit more spread apart, people can kind of juggle things around a bit easier. So next year they're going back to the original format, and I think the Oscars is later in the calendar again next year. From what I heard,
I was chugging along. I was doing great watching the movies, and I'm like, wow, it is Sunday. I have like 3 days to watch 4 movies or 3 movies. So,
well, that's right. Obviously, when the nominees come out, usually I have more than was it 4 weeks? I think I had to try and watch everything this time. Normally I have like maybe 6 weeks or something. So
you're gonna finish watching those movies? That was
I'll give them a watch. Kim wants to watch. Kim wants to watch A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood as well, so we will get that watched. And I think there was a couple of others that Kim wants to see as well, so we will get those watched as well.
Good, very nice.
I want to see them go back to the host. I loved having a host. I thought Jimmy Kimmel did a great job the last 2 years that he did it. Obviously, you get some flops as well, but yeah. Sorry,
David Letterman didn't do a great job.
No, Neil Patrick Harris, the last time he did it as well, he started great and then he flopped massively, which was a shame. It'll be interesting. And like you say, I know they normally do a bigger montage for the best pictures. They'll announce 3 of them earlier in the night, then they'll announce 3 in the middle of the show, then they'll announce 3 toward the end, and then before and you'll see bigger clips of the best picture nominees, which surprised me that you didn't get to see those this year. But
and it rained. It was pretty bad weather.
Yeah, the weather looked really bad for sort of down on the entrance to the red carpet where everyone was arriving. You could see all the
that's it.
You could see everyone just kind of wearing ponchos and things, trying to keep themselves dry. So yeah. But yes,
like Letterman.
A lot of awards this year given out to places we assumed they were going to go, but like we say, a couple of major shocks with Best Director and Best Picture in the end. So yeah, but not a disappointing Academy Awards. I thought with everything being so predictable, it was going to be disappointing, and it didn't disappoint at all.
Yeah, so Irishman won nothing. You didn't finish saying that.
Irishman won nothing in the end, which that was a huge shock to me.
The majors
of the major movies, yeah. I mean, if you look at the 9 best pictures now, Ford v Ferrari took 2 awards, I think, for editing and for sound mixing. The Irishman took nothing. Jojo Rabbit took best adapted screenplay. Joker obviously took original score and best actor. Little Women took achievement in costume design. Marriage Story took supporting actress, and it took I want to say it took another one as well. Did it take another one? Maybe that was its only one.
Yep.
1917 took 3 awards. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood took 2 or 3 awards as well, and Parasite took 4. So
why didn't it win? Why did The Irishman win? Not to keep dragging on, but
I think Netflix has kind of, because it didn't have a long enough run in the theater. I think it went into the theater briefly, but it didn't have a long enough run. And I think it, like I said earlier, I think if you sit down and watch a 3.5-hour movie in the theater, you're not distracted by anything. If you try to sit down and watch it on Netflix at home, there's other things going on at home. You're always going to be distracted. Like you said, you had to take three attempts at watching it. It took me 2 attempts, and I think people probably did.
I actually liked it. I would put it maybe in the top 5.
I think it does hurt the movie, because I think if you can't watch it in the first go, not a lot of people will go back to it.
Yeah.
Yes, that's genuinely what I think. So Kim says, I'm so happy that Jojo Rabbit won something. Yeah, Taika Waititi.
Yeah, me too. I agree. Yeah. Well, the one thing, it was funny because it was obvious they didn't win anything, and during the directing speech, they did give Martin Scorsese a standing ovation, which I thought was great. So,
yes, yeah. Bong Joon-ho paid a lovely homage to all 4 of his other directing nominees. Films he used to study, and so obviously one of the funny things actually that, like, we were talking about The Shock, and this was something we were talking about off air before. I went back and rewatched the Oscars tonight and made a few notes, and one of the things that I noticed is, because Sam Mendes had obviously been taking Best Director award all throughout the award season, it was very interesting to see. I don't think Sam Mendes necessarily expected to win the award. I don't think you can go into any awards, and especially not the Oscars, just expecting to win. But I think if you've gone through award season and you've swept up everything else, and you're used to your name being called out time and again, you kind of maybe anticipating it to a degree.
Yeah.
And obviously the camera is on all 5 nominees, and when they announced Bong Joon-ho, you see Sam Mendes go, and he's genuinely surprised. He is genuinely surprised, shocked. And it's just like, wow.
Maybe out of the 30 predictions of Best Picture, maybe 3 people said Parasite, and the rest all said 1917.
Yeah. But no, I mean, Bong Joon-ho, he paid homage to all of his other nominees, and he said he wanted to take a Texas Chainsaw, split the award into 5, and share it with all of them. And then he said he'll go off and drink until next morning, was his exact words. So Bong Joon-ho, has probably got a hell of a hangover right now. But yeah, so
all right, buddy.
Yeah, I think
stream again. Great awards. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it was a great award.
I appreciate it. So
let's do this again next year.
I'll be on Pepper Tree Villa, 10 o'clock. Let's see, 6 or 7 or 8 or 9:30. About 3.5 hours, 4 hours from now, I'll be on Pepper Tree Villa. The taste of Valentine's Day. I got some of the stuff down here. So,
a taste of Valentine's Day.
Mini heart. I know you're not going to be up for this because I see you're kind of sloping down as we go today. So
no, I'm not tired. But I'm probably not going to be awake at 3 a.m.
I know
as well. So,
and Kimmy, good seeing you in the stream. Grace, good seeing everyone here. Whoever's stuck in with us towards the end. More sunshine, please. See you there, Jim. Thank you so much. I'll be on the live place with Jim as well. February 25th, we're doing The Fifth Gate is episode 2 of our 6-episode series. And of course, my channel, RobFuz. I'm on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Check out my channel. Adam's my partner channel, and Ebony's little channel is my partner channel. Please go over there, subscribe, hit that notification bell. We go live. We do Pub Talk over there too. So if you like this show, join us over there as well. And I do a Frankie Friday. I do some retro videos, and I do a lot of hangouts and stuff with my friends. So please join me over there. And thank you so much, Adam, for having me on. Congratulations.
Well, it's Pub Talk, so
too. So that's awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you, dude. Thank you. Thank you guys. Thank you for people who pushed for me to get over that 500 mark. I'm hoping, obviously, with some streams and vlogs coming up in the next few weeks, in Florida. Obviously, I'll be out at Disney World and Universal, and
it's on my calendar.
Yeah, so hopefully I can keep that pushing toward 103. So,
500.
Yeah, no,
that's awesome.
506. Well, then maybe I can get to 510. Yeah, great. So no, obviously, hopefully we'll start to. Kay has just said it there herself. Let's get Adam to 1K. That would be great, because then I could stream using the YouTube app again as well instead of having to use the third-party apps on my phone. But
all right, happy Super Bowl, happy Academy Awards, happy 500. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you, buddy, and congratulations to Parasite as well. So yeah.
Congratulations, Parasite. So I hope he is not too hungover. So too fun.
Grace says, can't wait for some streams from Disney. Yeah, I can't wait to do them as well. So looking forward to them, Grace. So yeah, right. We're going to wrap up now. This has been Pub Talk 32. Once again, Dan sends his apologies for not being with us tonight. He was supposed to be with us, but he had a family. Dan, we hope everything's... he's just taking care of that at home. Brandon was in work, but Brandon would have only been disappointed that his people who know movies don't know movies. And Brandon's words all night was, this film was robbed and this film was robbed. So although Brandon did take the bragging rights for Best Picture, he was the only one who said Parasite was going to win it. So
he owns it on Blu-ray.
Yeah, but on to next year. So yeah, another exciting year.
Brandon, he comes in and boom. Did he pick it for director too? He didn't pick the director, did he?
Let me see. What did Brandon pick for director? He may well have done, actually, because he was maybe three awards behind. He was 3 awards behind Dan at one point, and then Brandon did pick Bong Joon-ho for Best Director. So
congratulations, Brandon. You got
it made me laugh, actually, because around that time when we were talking in the middle of the
he did a total opposite of the night where he was great and then fell flat, and he wasn't great, and then he got the 2 best towards the end. So
when Brandon got to up to 5 awards, and that was when the 11th award of the night came out. So we were both on 9. We were tied on 9 at that time. Brandon got up to 5. And then there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There was 6 awards given out before he then won another one. Before he then predicted another one correctly. So yeah, he had a bit where he fell back a little while. So, but yes, can't wait to do this again next year. Go and don't burn the stakes. We're going to wrap it up now. But yeah, thanks for coming in, everyone. Kay says, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe. Thank you, Kay. Thanks for coming in and watching, everyone. Rob, thanks for doing this, buddy. And on to next year.
Congratulations again.
Thanks, guys. Take care. We'll see you soon.